recordings to do for a studio, so
Oh, really? Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Wow. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Do you at least go home after this?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I have a keyboard exam I should practice for, but I
Oh,
scratch that, I guess.
oh my goodness. Oh, don't you not even have a piano in your room?
I
Oh no,
mean,
you don't have a mirror. Isn't that what it is?
yeah, in my room, I do not have a mirror, so
Yeah.
that's terrible. But I do
That's
have a piano. I mean, I also have a keyboard that has weighted keys in my dorm, but
Oh, that's awesome.
I'd still rather practice on this.
Of course, yeah. I mean,
So,
totally agree.
oh, and I ripped out my earbuds again. We'll do that a few times today, but
Oh no.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
How's your day going?
it's going okay,
Okay.
We're getting through it. 6 more weeks. Well, that's good.
That's true.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's good though. Thanks for asking. So how has violin been going?
It's been going.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, are there any like problems that you want to bring up right now before I start anything? Is there any like comfort problems, problems that you're having with any homework in class?
I mean, in terms of homework, we haven't really had anything, so I've been just focusing on practicing arpeggios and just trying to hear those. But
So that was
um,
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like 2 weeks and 2 weekends ago. Yeah, good.
Hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that those things can help. And we are actually going to work on arpeggios today too. So
Yeah.
it'll be like a little review and a little new thing because we're going to start on second finger and third finger. So that's new. Good. So I want to do just a little review of the. Can you tell me what the elevators are?
Oh, not this again. Oh no. Was that the one? I always mix them up. I'm pretty sure that's the one where it's really close to the fingers and you're going up each step.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Whew.
you're going up.
All right.
Good, good, good. So yeah, so you're going up. The difference between escalator and elevator. The elevators are when you're like going up, which I guess you can think of like an elevator. Elevators go down. Oh no, what am I saying? So it's kind of like going up and then going back down, and then escalators are when we have that thing where we move me to May. No,
Mm,
May to me. I'm sorry, May to me. That's when we
yeah.
have that little 5 note pattern thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can think of the escalators maybe because it's just moving a half step, and you know how escalators are like really slow, going up like every step basically. You maybe think that, and then for the elevators, like you're rising all the way up and then coming back down. Like if you were to go on the 3 floors in crane and in this horribly slow elevator here. So
True.
I know. So let's just test out our elevators, and I think I want to do a 2 to 3 whole step this time. So it's gonna sound like this. Um, your starting note would be B. It'll sound like this. So why don't you give that a try, starting on the note B. Good. And if we can just, this is one of our new topics for today, string crossings. Now, your string crossings look pretty good. You are moving your arm. You're probably used to that with bass, that, when you string cross on the bass, you're not just moving your wrist. Sorry, like you're not just moving your wrist, you're actually moving your whole arm, right? You're moving your shoulder as well. You're also moving, you know, it's moving vertically and horizontally. So when we string cross, we lead with the bow and we lead with the arm in two ways. Um, and I was actually going to do something before this, but I just thought, well, the elevators are string crossings, right? The whole thing is
Mhm.
a string crossing.
Yeah.
So um, when we go down bow from the G string, what we were just doing with the elevators, we're leading with our arm. Our arm weight is coming down, right? Because when we get to the G string, you see that motion? Sorry, that was a horrible sound, but
That's fine.
yeah, that
Yeah.
motion where my arm is dropping,
Hmm.
and then When I'm coming back up, I'm at the tip, then my bow is leading.
Hmm.
If you almost look at it, you can almost see like, you know, when I'm down here, this is already up and it has to come down. Now this is up and it has to go back down. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when we're doing the down bow from the G string, going to the E string, I was on a B, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Notice my arm coming down, and I'm not really focused on the tip of the bow. That's not really what's leading at all. Ah, zoom. I need a better angle. Up. You can see my whole arm. See how my arm is down now? And now
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead with the tip of my bow. So that's kind of how that works. And I know it's different because bass is, what's different in this is that the bass is obviously this way.
Hmm.
It's not, it's a totally different angle with your arm. So, um, instead of doing this with an elevator, I just want to do this with open strings. So what you're gonna do, it's called a rainbow, and I think you'll see
Hmm.
why it kind of looks like this
Hmm.
arc of a rainbow. It's just playing open strings, starting from G. It looks like this. And if you notice, arm coming down, there's a different level of my arm on every single string. Did you see that? How it was a different height
Hmm.
and the arm was continuously dropping down. And then watch when the bow leads after that. Now the bow's gonna go. So why don't you try that, please? It's a good open string exercise.
Oh,
That happens.
don't worry about that. I have so much rosin on here. Just I have a
Oh, that's
lot
okay.
of rosin.
That's
Yeah.
just when you're not used to the higher strings. So when the higher strings that just happens sometimes basically with the E string. If you hit the string in just the right spot, it's going to vibrate way too fast, which then
Hmm.
brings that pitch up and that's why it squeaks. That's really not anything technical, it just happens. So don't worry about it.
Oh.
But
Okay.
I don't think that that's ever happened to me on bass. Well, no, well, you know what's weird with bass? Sometimes I get like harmonics out of nowhere. Like sometimes I'll just
Hmm.
like I don't know. There's something wrong with like maybe my bow, and I hit harmonics out of nowhere, and I'm like, wow, that's like a whole octave higher than the open string that I'm playing. So, but anyway, don't worry about that. That's just violin weirdness.
Hmm.
Awesome, perfect. That looked really great. So just to keep in mind, just that arm leading, bow leading, and one thing, your bow was perfectly straight, perfectly parallel to the bridge. And what that means is that it didn't look like this or like this. You had a perfectly straight bow. So that's good. Good for you. Um, good. So, do you have any questions about that arm leading, bow leading nonsense? Is that does that make sense to you? I know it's kind of like really technical, but it's helpful.
It makes sense. I mean, it's mostly when I have my fingers down, it's like bow crossing, so sometimes I
Yeah.
get mixed up.
So that's one way you can separate. So if you're having trouble with the bow and you're hitting strings, work on that exercise without the left hand.
Okay.
It is basically elevators without the left hand, basically. So, and then when you feel comfortable and you are like, okay, I really feel, and when you do this, think about feeling that weight drop in your arm and then the bow leading again. And then you start to feel the weight come back up. But if you drop again, then it changes and you go back. So, keep that in mind, and I think that if you work on that exercise, you'll be much comfortable with the disobedient strings, then you can definitely come on the other strings. And then when that's good, just add the left hand, and you can do the elevators, and it's basically kind of just dividing it. You divide it and then you conquer, and that's how we can do that. Awesome, good. So let's see. Let's review our one open and one finger arpeggios. Why don't you try an open arpeggio on whatever string you'd like? Well, it has to be either G, D, or E. I'm sorry, G, D, or A, because E, you have to make it. So, it's minor first, and then major, and then the dominant, if you remember that. If not, I can pull up the fingerings if you need. Do you want that?
Well, let me. Yeah, I have to get.
Yeah, yeah,
Just trying to remember what was the finger? It's also two. It's two for the dominant, right? I think for the open one, or is it one?
when you do the open string, you're doing the dominant.
Yeah, is it one or two?
It's 2, 3, yeah.
Two. That's what I thought. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So can you try that one more time? And this time, can you think about that second finger? Because it was a little hard to tell if you were playing major or minor. So really make that difference between the B flat and the B. That was awesome. Wonderful intonation. Good. Now, can you do this with can you do this with two bow strokes? So you're gonna do the ascending arpeggio with a down and then the descending with an up. So it'll look like and then you change on the G. So you're always changing your bow stroke on the top G. So
Yeah.
try that for me. And think about what we just did. It was perfect. You're right on the G. So sorry.
Let me try again.
Yeah, just make sure you change on the G. So you're going down, up, down. Yeah, good.
I know what you
Perfect.
want me to do for the dominant. That's.
No, that was right. So you were always changing on the G. You were always switching the next bow stroke. So that was correct. You were just adding an extra note basically. Good. That was awesome. How did that slurring feel?
It felt fine. Yeah.
Good. So you're improving with that. That's great. So you're starting to get that coordination between your right and left hand. And I will say, you've been playing violin now for like 2 months, so that's pretty good progress to get that coordination. I mean, you think about how many years it takes some people, me, for example. I mean, of course, I started when I was like in fourth grade, so, and I started late, but that's a good thing, you know. So I'm glad you're getting that coordination. You'll have a much easier time once that's really developed. So, good for you. Now, I just want to review really quick the one finger arpeggio. So you can choose wherever you want. In first position, try your starting your arpeggio on one finger. And first do it no slurs. You can do them separate bows. And it goes minor, major, dominant. So you're going to start on the D string. Cool.
I don't know why I'm
So yeah, no problem. So your third finger is actually too high. No, it's all good. So your third finger for the first minor third is a little too high. You hear the difference? I know the half steps are like ridiculously small in violin, so your 1 to 3 is like far. I mean, you guys don't even use 3 in first position, right?
That would be a two.
Yeah, it would be a 2, right? Yeah. Good, good.
I don't know why I can't. It could be me. Let me try playing without anything.
Oh,
I
sure,
can't
sure.
hear
No.
any. Can't hear my. can't play it right now. I don't know why.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's okay.
I just
I
don't have.
I understand. So, one thing that might help is I think we talked about this once before. I don't remember though. Um, Having your fingers over the string, actually landing from like the sky or the upper the ceiling or whatever you want to call it. But and the way we do that, let me just back up, is move our arm. So, if you notice, the more I move my arm towards, to the right, the more my hand is over the fingerboard. And then that means that my fingers are already there. All I have to do is plop them down. Instead of coming like the, right? So that could be something that can help you. But let's move to the second and three. Well, second and third fingers. I don't want to, you don't have to like, you can figure it out. I know you'll, sometimes weird things just happen, right? But you think about that left arm thing, because you can move it if you're really struggling with something and you're like, why can't I get this? Just move the left arm and it'll do wonders. I promise. So, let me show you what the um, second and third pattern looks like. Because just for time's sake, I don't want to just explain it out loud, so I'm just going to share this. So, are you able to see this? Good. So, let me try to make this bigger. I feel like my computer's so slow. So we have right here our second finger pattern and our first finger pattern. So what this looks like for minor, if we were to start on the D string, just as followed, the arrows basically just mean lowered. So now the difference is we just went from this, right? That was only between two strings. Now we're going between, right? Now we're going between three strings. So that's the difference. So I would like you to do this without slurs. Just do these separately and just follow the pattern, and your ear will tell you what to do for this first one right here. So we're just looking at this right now. Perfect job. Good. Have you done this before?
We did it once in class.
Well, it sounds wonderful. So this one's a lot harder than the other ones because, like I said, it uses three strings. Good. So I don't really know if I want to do. Well, we won't do slurs, but just know that you can do slurs. When you practice whatever your final is, I really don't know what your final is going to be because I never had to do violin playing. So, 'cause I'm a violinist, so I never had to do that. But whatever your final is, maybe practice these with slurs in case that is part of your final. But I trust that you know how to do that because you showed me before. So now let's move to third finger pattern. So just as followed. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like I said, just follow the pattern. I don't even really have to explain it. You can do it on any string. Doesn't matter what note.
A little minor there.
Fantastic. Good. So you have great intonation, which is wonderful. I'm just going to stop share for a minute. That's wonderful. So, but do you have any questions about these?
Not too much. I think it's just I need to get used to on the higher strings, not playing from the G, but playing from the D string and going across D.
Yeah, definitely.
D A E is a problem sometimes, but
Well, do you want to go then too, or you feel like do you want to show me an arpeggio with going from the D to the E, like with this an open one? Oh, I'm sorry. See, I told you it just happened. That's the thing with music, it just happens. You know, how experienced you are. So why don't you just show me just one? I know you said, oh, it's my one,
yeah,
just because I know this is our last lesson. I don't want you to go away with something that could help you with.
that's fine.
Okay, good. So I really don't see a problem with your arm, bow arm, anything like that. Even your left arm looks good. I wouldn't be worried about those strings. It really doesn't seem like an issue area. I do notice sometimes, and this is just overall like composition, I guess you could say, or
Mm.
is sometimes you come in, and that's just really gonna hurt your back, I think, or like coming in. It's better to open up and let. So if I open up and I let my violin just place where it is, my bow has to go where it has to go.
Mm.
Instead of me bringing the violin to the bow, because then that brings your shoulders in and that could hurt. Put your violin where it's comfortable, and then put your bow where without moving the violin. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to move the violin when you play, just because
Mm.
of comfort issues, but don't let your body go into the violin. Let the violin come to you.
Mm.
I'm sure you know that about bass too. Like, don't when you bring the bass to you, don't just like I know I did that because I was always like hovering over it, trying to play these notes and trying to reach the strings, but obviously that's painful, you know. So just consider that, and that'll help you feel more comfortable, I think.
Mm.
Good. So I'm just gonna share my screen again, just because I don't want to waste my time. So now I want to just take a look at. Oh, I guess. Oh my gosh, what? Okay, here we go. So now I just want to see. This is kind of something that this piece, little excerpt, ties in a lot of what we just learned. One, string crossing. Can you see it okay? Is it
Yeah.
blocked or?
Mm.
Okay, good. One, string crossing. Two, well, we don't really have any arpeggios, but these are all scalar patterns. So it kind of ties along with our one octave tetrachord pattern thing that we did last week and 2 weeks ago. Um, so let's try this. I think, would you want to hear it first or would you want to just do it yourself? I'm fine with either.
I guess I can hear it. It's
Sure.
been a while since I've heard it.
I think you'll remember it from violin. No, from viola playing. I
Yeah.
think I've played this in viola before.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. What is that?
So, when you listen, just watch my bow and check out what my bow is doing. And the left hand, but let's just see what the bow's doing. So you notice a lot of, at first, up bow, leading with the tip, now leading with the arm. Tip. So there's a lot of that here, right?
Mm.
Uh, I think, just focusing on one thing is probably best. I don't want to say like focus on the left hand doing all the things there. Focus on the, focus on the bow. And you can take this piece with you and then focus on other things in the future. But for now, let's just focus on the bow. Um, so when we're going up,
Mm.
moving up and we're moving to higher strings. Therefore, the tip is leading, the tip of the bow. And then when you go to the second, well, the first measure really. First measure is the pickup, and then the first measure, like this one. Sorry, you don't know, all right? So then we go to that down bow, and then think about that um, arm leading. And yeah, so why don't you just play? You want to play the whole thing, or would you rather break it up a little?
Um,
Play it much slower than I just did. I just didn't want to play it like ridiculously slow. And
yeah.
it's already 4:30. You know what I mean?
I could see how far I get. I don't know.
Awesome, yeah. And consider the key signature. We have B flat, which is a low
Yeah.
one, and we have uh E flat. So when you come here, this is a 4, and it's very close to D. So when you play that, and you'll hear that ringtone. So hear that. Good. Whenever you're ready.
Wait, let me restart.
No, that was you were in tune.
Alright.
Good, good.
The sharp, they have sharp B.
Yes. So right there, it's totally okay. Right there, remember when we did the that pattern is just coming down. So just think of that. Yeah, so that E natural is a whole step from the the O string, the open string. So why don't you start can you start right here on this E flat, and that sounds like this.
I think he's there.
Good. Good. So right there. Actually, what's gonna help you there, if you look, that E flat is right next to that G. So all you have to do, if you keep down your 3 and then you let your first finger, no, your fourth finger touch your third, just on a different string. So, does that make sense? Like it's touching, but on another string. That's how close some half steps are. I mean, it's not really a half step; it's a sixth, but minor sixth on violin touch each other on 2 different strings. So, would you be able to start right at measure 4? That part right there, the second beat.
Wait.
This beat. Sorry.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Wonderful. Yes. So, so that seemed to help. That your E flat was very much in tune. So that's good. Um, and I will say the hard thing about these 4s is that they're much farther away than we realize. When we play like, the very end, it's actually much harder because we're playing a low 1. So that 4 is pretty far. It's it's a half step away, but when we're, because technically, I mean, you have this on bass too. When we're playing like a B flat like that, it's technically like half position. And then we play 4 in first position. So, don't be so discouraged about that fourth finger. It's pretty far. And I know it's like far for a violinist compared to a bass is like, I shouldn't be saying that, but it is far. So, but overall, really great job. I liked your string crossings. That was really our main focus today, and they really have seemed to come together because you were really focused on your left hand, which is okay, but the string crossings came along. So you were like, "Yep, check that. I got that done. Now I'm going to focus on my left hand." But be happy in that you were able to get those string crossings because from the first lesson we had, you were hitting a lot more strings, and now it's like very nice to hear. So that's a good thing. That's an accomplishment. Is there any last questions on this or anything else that you would like to check out?
No, not really.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's all I have for you today, and I guess this is our last lesson.
No.
Well, if you ever
Oh.
need a lesson, just let me know. I meant like our last lesson that we turned in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really great to work with you. Seriously, you were such a wonderful student. So,
Thank you. You're such a wonderful teacher and a student at the same time.
thank you. And again, if you need any other lessons throughout the semester, oh my god, I need help before my final, just let me know. I don't mind giving you another lesson. It's not for school, like, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have a great weekend and good luck with violin.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck with bass.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.